Hey, my name is Blake, your brewer, and I'm the founder of the Legacy Letter Challenge. As of this week, Koilan has started to write his legacy letter to his son, Cairo. After our session together, I asked him a couple questions just to see what he's thinking so far, and this is what he said. After that, I'll share with you how you can join in with Koilan in writing your legacy letter, and also this mission to help 1 million dads write at least one well-written, meaningful, lasting legacy. Koilan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, Koilan, I just wanted to ask you, as you're getting started on your legacy letter, why are you wanting to write this legacy letter to your son, Cairo?
I just thought writing this letter would be a good opportunity to leave words to my son that will mean a lot to him, but at the same time, me as well. So basically getting a different perspective for myself and to put in the words for him, to say basically just not only just trying to lead him in a direction, but basically trying to figure out what kind of father I want to be as well. So I feel like it's on both sides. Like I get to become better, and at the same time, he's benefiting from it as well. So that's one thing that I look at about writing this letter that I really like.
Yeah. Well, we just finished your first session, and you got your assignments to work on for this next week. Man, what are your thoughts? I'm asking you fresh, like we just finished a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
So you may not have even gathered that many thoughts yet. But what's your first thoughts of after the first session?
It's really interesting. Basically, the outline that you gave me day one is gonna have me really thinking about a lot of the stuff that I've never really thought about. It's like, father, as a father, you do your everyday things is like that's normal, but you don't really think about the deeper parts of it, of like when it comes to talking to your son, or basically what you want them to know, or leading them, or how you feel about being a father. So just me, while I write this, will definitely make me think a lot more than I ever have about being a dad. So,
Yeah, absolutely. If there's any dads out there that are, thinking that they might want to write their legacy letter, what kind of encouragement would you have to them to join you in writing this?
I would tell them that there's no reason they shouldn't. You have a kid. I mean, especially if you care for your child, you never know what will happen, but you do know that words will always last forever. And so just putting those down on paper, and that impact will always be with your kid, whether you're here or you're not. And I just feel like you can't really pass that opportunity up, and especially having it being so well thought out. And he'll know that the words were so well thought out, and that you took the time to basically tell him how you feel about him. And I feel like that would stick with them for the rest of their life, and honestly change the way they grow up or where they live. So.
How cool is it that for the next month or so, Koilan is going to be putting his thoughts and his feelings down on paper for his son, Cairo. Cairo is going to cherish this letter for the rest of his life. You might be asking me, what is the Legacy Letter Challenge? How do I jump in on this? The Legacy Letter Challenge all started with a letter that my dad wrote to me when I was 19 years old. I had just finished my freshman year at the University of Arkansas, and we went on a vacation to Hawaii. And while we were there, we went to a place called Hanauma Bay, and we went snorkeling. And to make a long story short, while my dad and I were snorkeling together, my dad ended up drowning. I did my best to save him, but I wasn't able to. And as you can imagine, I was absolutely devastated. It was so surreal. In one moment, I was having one of the best days of my life, hanging out with my dad in Hawaii, and then he was gone. A couple hours after my dad died, we were back in the condo, and I was in the back bedroom, and my mom appeared in the doorway, and she said, I was going through your dad's stuff, and I found something that he was going to give you on this trip. I had no idea what she was talking about, but she had some sheets of paper in her hands, and she walked across the room, and she put into my hands these sheets of paper, and at the top it said, "Dear Blake, Natalie, and Marcus, my sister and brother's name." And she said, for the last couple of months, your dad has been writing you a letter, and he was going to give it to you on this trip. And I have to share with you that even before I read this letter, I felt so incredibly loved that my dad would take the time to write down his thoughts and feelings about us. That letter absolutely changed my life. It helped me get through the next year of my life as I was grieving hard. But that letter gave me hope. That letter gave me guidance. I knew that I was going to make it. And for the last 18 years, that letter has continued to guide me, my father's words. And so about a year ago, I realized that my calling in life was to help other dads write a letter like my dad did for me. So we developed the legacy writing method that helps a dad go through the whole process of writing this letter to really get his heart and his mind in the right spot. I tell dads that you have a letter in your heart. We're just going to draw it out and get it from your heart to your mind to a piece of paper, and we'll guide you through this process of writing the letter. And so if you're thinking, man, I want to do that, I want to be a part of it, you can join in with Koilan to write this priceless letter. You can put a value on the letter that I received from my dad. And the same way that Koilan is, you can start going through the program. There's about 10 lessons, and each lesson will guide you through the writing the letter. And at the end of it, you'll have an amazing letter. So you can go to writewithkoilan.com and you can sign up. You can use Koilan's discount code and get 10% off of the program. And as Koilan is the first ever NIL sponsorship that supports fatherhood. So Koilan does get part of the proceeds. So when you sign up for the course, not only are you creating a priceless letter for your children, you're supporting a dad who is on the Razorback team, and as he's stepping up to the plate and being a good dad for his kid, you're helping him and supporting him as a student athlete. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.